Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AG from Men of Order Sports. I'm here to talk about the Monday night game, Broncos at Chargers. But first, I'm going to recap Sunday real quick. On the Sunday show, out of everything we gave out, we went a little bit over 500, but we hit on all the big plays that we threw out there. Shout out to Chad real quick because Jamar Chase for 2 touchdowns and 100 yards parlayed for plus 1170 for plus 1185 odds. That smashed for us. Shout out to Chad for that call. If you're a $25 better, you hit about $300 profit on that bet. We also hit on Mark Andrews, 7 catches, plus 126. Alec Pierce for his first career touchdown, plus 290, and his over yards hit. We had that also at minus 110. A little bit of late game heroics by him, man. He got his first touchdown of his career, game-winning touchdown, final couple minutes of the game. So shout out to him, man. Great play, and he cashed the yards play with that touchdown. So we desperately needed that. It was a great pick, great call there. Will Lutz, he went 4 for 4 in Cincinnati. The books had him at over 1.5 field goals at plus 110. So we smashed that for he went 4 for 4. So that obviously hit pretty easily. We had Christian McCaffrey plus 120 for 6 catches. That hit pretty easily. He had 7. And then all the sides we picked, we had the Seahawks covering. They ended up winning. We had the Steelers covering. They ended up winning. We had the Philly-Dallas over to cap off the night. So a pretty good Sunday overall. Now let's get into this Monday night matchup here. I don't know why the Broncos are on prime time every time I look up at the TV. It's like the NFL is like punishing us for something. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to have to sit through and watch this again, but we might as well make it fun and throw some bets down and win some money in the process. So in this game, we have the Broncos plus 4.5 visiting LA, the Chargers minus 4.5 favorites, the over-under set at 45.5. Earlier in the week, we did the early pick show, and I took the Chargers at minus 5.5. So this line has gone down now, so obviously I fucked myself on that. I should have waited. If I waited, I'd be able to get them at a better number. But throughout the week, as I kept thinking about this game, I kind of like the Broncos here to cover, even though the line went down. A complete flip from what I was feeling earlier in the week. But that's why we did that show, just to kind of see how it went. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Broncos match up pretty well. They might be able to cover here. I'm not going to tell everybody to go take the Broncos now after I already told you guys take the Chargers. I'm not going to flip on my bet. I'm not taking the Broncos here. I'm just saying I think I might have been wrong about that one earlier in the week. But without further ado, let's get into some player props because I do have some of those that I'm confident in for this game. Let's start off with the Chargers offensive side of the ball. I got Austin Eckler over 37.5 receiving yards is minus 110 on FanDuel. If you like him for over 35.5, you're getting a couple extra yards. It's minus 130 at PointsBet. I did see that, so I'm throwing it out there. That bet would be 4 out of 5 so far this season for Eckler. This one at 37.5 is 3 out of 5. He did have 36 receiving yards week 1, but I like this to hit because the Chargers, they're number 1 in not allowing sacks, and that's probably due to the fact that they have Austin Eckler in the backfield they can dump off to. Herbert gets rid of the ball really quick and everything like that. But the Broncos, they're 4th in sack percentage and sacks per game. They're 8th in pressure percentage. So I like them to be in the backfield a little bit, and Herbert dumping the ball off to Austin Eckler. Obviously, he's getting hot lately, past couple weeks. So I like him to hit this. He's got the 3rd most catches for a running back right now. We know what he can do once he has the ball in his hands in terms of getting downfield and getting extra yardage. And then he's averaging about 43 yards receiving per game. And, he's hit 36, 55, 48, 49, 26, 37.5. We're not asking for a whole lot in this game where the Broncos are going to be able to apply pressure on Justin Herbert. And then in line with them applying pressure to Justin Herbert, I like Herbert under 265.5 total passing yards at minus 111 on Caesar Sportsbook. Listen, the Broncos are 1st in passing defensive yards. They're 2nd in yards per completion defensively. They're 4th in sacks per game and sacks percentage, like I just said earlier. They don't allow yards to the quarterbacks, man. This would be 5 for 5 for quarterbacks going up against Denver so far this season. Nobody's even came close to this. So I know Herbert usually hits this over. He airs the ball out. They're an air the ball out team. But this matchup doesn't bode well for them. This matchup just doesn't bode well for them. I'm taking him on the under here. I'm going to fade Justin Herbert. As much as I love the guy, I think he's a fantastic quarterback. But I'm going to fade him here versus the Broncos, versus Broncos defense. Shout out to Sharpside Sports, because I was already feeling this, and then I saw this tweet by @Sharpside Sports on Twitter. He put out a stat that Justin Herbert's passer rating drops 30 points versus the blitz. And obviously the Broncos blitz a lot. They're top 5 in blitz percentage. As I already said, they're 4th in sack percentage and sacks per game. So they're going to be getting back there. They're going to be causing havoc. That's kind of the theme for like the first 2 picks is pretty much that. Herbert having to dump off to Austin Eckler. I think Eckler is going to hit this 37.5 over, but Herbert's not going to get all the downfield action that would put him over 265 like he usually does. So I'm going to take this bet here. If you do like the over, though, on Justin Herbert, you can get a lower number on some of the other books. I'm taking the highest number I found, which was 265.5. So I already went to the window with that. But yeah, he goes from a 108 quarterback rating to 78 when he's getting blitzed, which brings him from like the 5th best quarterback to 29th. And shout out to Sharpside Sports again, because he put that on my desk. I didn't know that, but I was already leaning this, so that just made me way more confident in it. And then flip on to the Broncos side of the ball. I do like Russ to hopefully get cooking. Everybody's saying like, oh, when is Russ going to get cooking? I don't know if it's going to be anything spectacular tonight. The Chargers have a lot of injuries on that defense. That's why I'm kind of leaning Broncos now at this point in the week. But I think that Melvin Gordon's going to be the guy that the Broncos have to go to a lot, and you're getting great value here. You got Melvin Gordon over 51.5 rushing yards for plus 100 on Caesars right now. I mean, I love that. This is only hit in 2 out of 5 games for him, but he wasn't the starter, obviously, for 4 out of those 5 games. So his first start last week, he hit this over, and he had 15 rushing attempts. I know Boone is in the picture and might steal some carries and some yards, obviously, but Boone only had 7 attempts in Gordon's first game as being the starter. As long as he can hold on to the ball, they want him to be the guy, Melvin Gordon. So I'm not too worried about Boone being in the picture, but he is. So that's reason to provide caution. But Melvin Gordon's averaging 3.7 yards per attempt right now versus this Chargers defense, who is dead last in the league, averaging 5.8 yards per attempt. The Chargers are also 25th in defensive rushing yards per game. So I like this here. Like I said, he got 15 attempts, and he hit this over in his first start last week with Javonte Williams, obviously injured and out for the season. So I like them to keep getting Melvin Gordon going, man. They want him to be the guy. They definitely want it to be him as long as he holds on to the ball. So I'm banking on him not fumbling. Always a risk when you're taking Melvin Gordon here, but it's a lot less of a risk now with Javonte Williams on the IR, not suiting up, obviously. If he gets 15 carries at his average 3.7, that gets it done with over 51.5 rushing yards. So I like Melvin Gordon here. I'm also going to lean Gordon for a touchdown. I mean, if you think about it, the Broncos cannot possibly keep passing in the red zone when it's not working. They got these close, 7 yards to go to the end zone, and they're throwing the ball, and it has not worked with Russell Wilson at all this season. I'm looking for them to run the ball when they get down to the red zone. They're dead last in red zone touchdown percentage. Something's got to give at some point in this season for them. If it's not today against this beat-up Chargers team, it'll probably be never, in my opinion. So I'm going to lean Melvin Gordon rushing touchdown also. I mean, he might even break one for like 30 yards, and that gets half of this rushing yards and the touchdown. I'm not going to play it straight, but it is going to be a part of the parlay for these reasons. And then I'm also going to put Eckler in our same game parlay as well. After no touchdowns in the first 3 weeks, he's getting hot. He's getting going. He's got 5 in the last 2, 3 rushing, 2 receiving. I always love taking an Eckler anytime touchdown because he can get it both ways, through the air or through the run game. So I'm going to lean an Eckler touchdown as well and throw him into the same game parlay, which you'll see right here. So if we're using all these picks, everything I mentioned so far, we've got Austin Eckler anytime touchdown, Melvin Gordon anytime touchdown, Melvin Gordon over 50.5 rushing yards, Justin Herbert under 264.5 passing yards, Austin Eckler over 37.5 receiving yards. Let me actually get rid of this real quick so you can see. There you go. So you got $10 is winning you 411. That's a $10 bet right there. I like that as the same game parlay for tonight. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So we'll be back. Obviously, we got the NBA starting up tomorrow, so I'm going to do some NBA bets for tomorrow for opening day, and then we'll be back Thursday night football as always with John Ryan and Chad as well. Best of luck betting tonight. Hopefully we get a not so ugly primetime game. I mean, Sundays and Mondays haven't been awful. Thursdays obviously have been terrible, but these unders have been cashing in all the primetime games. So that's another thing to mention. I don't really know how I feel. It could go either way on this 45.5. I think it's a pretty solid number there. But yeah, I'm leaning Broncos now. I had Chargers earlier in the week though, so I'm going to stick to that. But I think I might have been wrong about that. I jumped the gun a little bit. The points went down. So I was off on that, but I guess go Chargers anyway, and we'll see how that goes. But I really like the same game parlay, man, at plus 411 odds or whatever it was. What we got? Yeah, plus 4,115. I'll take that any day. Both of these guys can easily get into the end zone if the teams are driving. And those yards, I mean, Justin Herbert, the yards aren't going to be easy to come by for him tonight. He's going to get pressured a lot. So we'll see how it goes. Best of luck betting, everybody.